is one of the two batteries, and we're gonna unbox it right now.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in G-Shock. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive.
A lot of packaging. Here we have the charger. Only 5 amps, but that's okay. And now we're getting closer to the battery. The battery's packed very well. Now to get it out.
Like a bartender. Team with me and they all winners. And you know we ballin' all winter, all summer. Jewelry around my neck is lightning, but I'm all thunder. Keep coming with it. Keep coming with it.
So this is our 100.8 volt, 27 amp hour battery, and we have two of these. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna wire them up to show you how they're gonna be ran, and then we're gonna try to power on our controller for the first time. I know some of you guys really care about the battery specs. I'm gonna give you guys some quick details on it. Both of these battery packs are completely custom made for my cart specifically, so these are not off the shelf. The cells I use are P45B cells. The battery is 100.8 volts, 27 amp hours, ran in parallel, so we have a total of 54 amp hours. Each battery can do 200 line amps, and it can do 300 line amps peak for 10 seconds. And since the two batteries are working together, that means the total power output is this. Here we have both batteries side by side. You can see they're asymmetric. One has the wires coming out the left side, one comes out the right side. You can also see the handles are flip-flops because the way they're gonna mount, there'll be a bracket or a piece of metal to support the top of this and the top here to hold it down into the battery tray. So that's pretty sick. We're gonna run these in parallel, so we'll have 100.8 volts. These both are 100.8 volts. Each one is 27 amp hours, completely identical. So these will be double when combined, so it'll be a total of 54 amp hours. I also received these custom battery leads from the battery manufacturer. They're custom battery leads, and they're the perfect length for the Go-Kart. I measured everything using the CAD model, so I got the perfect length. And as you can see, the two batteries will be on the right and left side. They'll come together, and you can see how thick these wires are. So this is 4 gauge and this is 2 gauge wire. So this should be able to handle all the power very reliably. And we're gonna wire the batteries up right now. This is what it looks like with everything set up. So we have the two batteries again. I have the chargers for each battery next to them as well. I just wanted to make sure these are fully charged before we started doing any testing or tuning or any connections whatsoever. So these are now completely fully charged. This is how the controller will be wired up. We have the negative, we have the positive, and I will be plugging each battery in. Here is the wiring harness for the controller. As you can see, we also have the steering wheel as well. The steering wheel has a couple connectors coming out the back, but the only one I connected so far is the CAN connection, just so that the display can communicate with the controller. And we're gonna try to turn on for the first time. To turn on the 3-spool controller, this wire right here is labeled VIN. This is the high voltage wire. This will connect straight to the positive battery terminal. So to do that, I quickly made a connector just to make sure everything works. This will ultimately be wired to the button on the steering wheel. So this will be what turns it on and off. But for now, I'm just gonna make sure the controller turns on. So this is a 2-pin connector, but we're only using one of them. And so basically, to do this, I'm gonna try to hold my phone To do this, all I have to do is loosen this screw, tighten this wire down onto this. Ooh. So the way this works is while the batteries are disconnected, I'm going to take this off so that I can put this underneath and screw this down underneath the screw. And then I'm going to plug these two in. After these are plugged in, I'm going to then connect the battery, and hopefully we should have our first successful boot up and this display should come to life. And right before we boot it up, if you're wondering how I made this, 3Shul gives you a bunch of extra connectors, pins, and other stuff you'll need to make extra cables. So this is very useful. And without further ado, I'm going to be right back after I finish wiring this stuff up. Okay, that was pretty simple. As you can see, the wire is, if it focuses, is in between those two washers. So it'll be able to get the positive battery voltage. It'll go through this wire into the controller on the wire harness side. All that's left to do is plug in the batteries. Now, I'm not going to leave it just like this, just because if this gets pulled on too much, I don't want this to even have a chance to wiggle out or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of these where it's a connector that has a hole in the center so that I can slide it on top of the screw, and the screw will go in between. That will give us a better, more reliable connection, so that we don't have any issues with this coming off, but it's on there pretty well. All right, everything's set up. Now let's test it. I think this display is about to turn on. Let me move this so you guys can see. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, connect to Wi-Fi. All right, I'm gonna set that up and be right back. So I actually learned that before you can set up your display, you need to set up your controller. And that means you have to tune it to your motor. Now, we currently don't have our motor, but we should be getting it any day now. But I do have a video from E-Straps that they got from the motor supplier that I want to show you guys. Now, I hope that video made you as excited as it made me. If you are excited, make sure you subscribe for the next episode where we finally put the motor on the cart and get it ready to drive.